up in the air, and they will begin their challenge. So let me introduce more. We have Mimi from France, Faith from United States, and Mia from Canada. And the world record is around 50 meters created by Faith from United States, and she also one of our athletes today. So today we have the slackline that's around 70 meters, and the valuable length is around 55 meters. So if they make it success, then we'll create a new world record with the total length of 55 meters. And we have basically at the height of 12 storage. So with this height and walk on the very, very narrow space on the line, it's so challenging. And let me tell you, it's more difficult than walking on the steel wire, because right now you can see that it's really hard for them to make their body balance. And especially when they put their heels on, the difficult part is not only for the lines, it's also from their heels. So we need to look at who have the best condition, who perform the best, who can find their best tricks today. So besides themselves, weather is also an important factor. We talked about yesterday, that was the scheduled for the challenge, but because of the big rains and wind, we move it to today. But yesterday, if you tune in for our live stream, they barefoot tried the whole journey. Let's review yesterday.
确实，我们说到昨天的这样的一个天气状况非常的恶劣，我们可以看到几位选手，即便是赤脚挑战，走在这种非常湿滑的扁带上，难度是非常的大。
Indeed, yesterday, because the weather was really, really not favorable. So even though with the barefoot, all the athletes, you can see it's really hard for them. And they had a lot of the challenges for them, and they cannot really finish the whole journey. And for today, we have a better weather condition, and they start their journey again for today, and we hope everything goes well besides our big competition. And we will also have a high line music band. They will bring us the very beautiful and outstanding show to us. Let's know them more, but first let's know our athletes. talking about our three female athletes. They are from Canada, France, and United States. Mia from Canada is also the strongest with the top strengths, and she was 23 years old. And around the world, less female athletes can create that 200-meter record, but she made it and also bring the record to 490 meters. And by the end of 2017, he also created a record of walking 420 meters with eye folded. Let's see whether she can create another record. Mimi from France, 32 years old, and also the big sister among these three female athletes, and he participated in many different competitions. Really like to take challenges, and this time for her with high heels will be her new surpass herself. Right now she creates a record of 170 meters with the material of nylon. Faith from United States. She actually is the first female athlete with heels on and challenged the slacklining. 29 years old, Faith is also the most influenced key person in the slacklining world, and she finished a lot of different competitions. In Czech Republic, she complete the 50 meters slacklining walking with heels on. Let's see whether she can create a new record for herself. Let's looking forward for their competition. All right. We already saw the introduction of all these three females slackliners, and after they arrived in Tianmen, they actually trained for many times, and they also create a beautiful scene in Tianmen Mountain. Let's look at more details.
其实应该说，今天来到现场的3名走扁带的选手，个个都是身手不凡。而目前全球能够进行高空高跟鞋走扁带的选手，基本上都来到了。
For these three slackliners, they're the strongest ones, and with a very high technique. And around the world, actually, all of them are gathering here for the people who can challenge themselves for the highline challenge, and Face actually kept the world record. And right now today they would like to challenge themselves to break the record to reach the 55 meters, especially for Face. Talking about extreme sports as the most famous place, Zhangjiajie Mountain actually have a lot of eye-catching activities. We have all these kind of the extreme sports, and you name it. All these actually are the very, very important events and very well-known events happened here at the Tianmen Mountain, that also caused the attention in the extreme sports world.
好的，天文山高跟鞋走扁带巅峰大对决即将开始。那么接下来呢，我们可以在画面当中马上就可以看到，现在的现场一切已经是。
All right, the Tianmen Mountain High Heel Highline Challenge will very soon be started, and you will soon see our athletes. Everything I believe is ready. Believe the starting place and the ending place already marked, and every 5 meters we'll also put another mark so all the viewers can see clearly how far our athletes go.
We have set marks on the slackline for the sake of safety. At the starting line and the finishing line, every 5 meters we will put a mark. And the middle part is the valid challenge area. The valid area is around 55 meters. So they will start from the middle of the slack line, and after 55 meters, if they step onto the finishing line with 2 feet, that means the challenge is successful. So for this high heel challenge, at the beginning, they have to wear the high heels, and then they need to signal the judges when they stand up on the middle of the starting line. The championship officially starts. And for each athlete, they have 3 attempts. And during the slacklining, they have to go to the finishing line in 1 attempt. If they fall from the slack line, it means they will fail for the championship. But during the walking, they can adjust their positions. If they fail the challenge in the middle of the walking, and then they have to move back to the finishing line, and the other contestant will start. So who will be the winner of this challenge? The challenge is about to start. So we also have several media platforms to provide this live streaming. Okay, the Slackline Highline Challenge is about to start. Now we will connect to Harry at the starting line to give us more information. Can you introduce the situation out there? This is Harry. I can feel that all of these three athletes, they're quite excited. They're waiting for this moment for a long time, even though there's a slight rain today, but the weather is much better than yesterday. And Mimi, the first athlete, she's all ready and already wear her high heels. She's very anxious because worried about the weather. So as it is raining for the past few days, all the contestants, they want to do the challenge right away. Now we have very light rain right now and a very minor wind, but we don't know if the wind will have some impact to their performance. But I'm sure all of these contestants are ready and are eager to do the Highline Challenge. So at that time, Mimi will do the first attempt. And she will check if the skyline has a good condition to work on. So there's a huge amount of responsibilities on her shoulder. So we wish Mimi good luck. So the first contestant is ready to walk on the slack line. So Mimi from France is the first one to walk on the slack line. And Faith from the United States is the second one, and Mia from Canada is the last one. According to the rules of this competition, on the right side, it is the finishing line. So the rule is that at the beginning, they have to move from the finishing line to the starting line, which is at the middle of the slack line. And then they will walk back to the finishing line. So first, let's get more information about Mimi, the first contestant. So Mimi from France, 32 years old, the big sister of the three contestants, and she has been to many Highland challenges and like all kinds of new challenges. And it is a brand new challenge for her to walk on the Highline with high heels. So now her personal record is 170 meters high line made from linen. This is a bird's eye view from Tianmen Mountain. We can tell the weather is much better than yesterday, because yesterday this whole area is covered by fog and rain, and today the weather gets much better, and we are seeing now our first contestant is ready for the challenge. So first of all, she has to move from the finishing line to the starting line, which is at the middle of the slack line. So today, she's wearing the red dress and a high heel with 5 centimeter height of the heel. So the yellow mark actually marks the finishing line. Now she's moving to the starting line. And for the length of the slack line is 70 meters. And the valid challenge area is 55 meters. Seems like she's pretty close to the starting line. So the starting line is actually in line with the position of the Tianmen hole. Of course, when they're doing the challenge, they have no time to appreciate the scenery here because they have to be focused on their body balance. Now you can see the yellow ribbon. This is the starting line. Now she's still adjusting her position. Even though yesterday they tried out the slackline, but because yesterday was raining, so it is quite different from the slackline. Now she's starting and already standing up, still a little bit shaky at this moment. So we can hear so many visitors, audience here. Well, she's still adjusting her position. I think these sports actually consumes a lot of physical energy for them, especially for their arms and the waist. So all of these contestants, they have their own way to adjust their body balance. Now she's about to pass the starting line. Feels like it's very difficult because she's just stepping from the ground to the slack line. Probably it takes her some time to get used to it. And also she is the first one to do the challenge. So maybe she's also under certain kind of pressure. So what are the difficulties for working on the slack line, especially wearing the high heels? First of all, for the slack line itself, it's very shaky. Even though you walk on the slack line with barefoot, it is difficult. When you step on the slack line, you have to adjust the position of your feet in order to find the balance. But if you wear the high heels, then it is very hard for your feet to control the balance. So they have to change their position slowly in order to find the balance. It will be more difficult for them to walk on the slackline with high heels. So just as what we're seeing, Mimi has been adjusting her positions. Now she's ready. And if they're ready, they will wave hands to the judges to make sure that she's ready for the challenge. It feels like she's talking to the judge. So Mimi from France. So she is the eldest among the three contestants. At this point, she has to adjust her physical condition as well as his mental condition. So actually the standing up is the most difficult part. She has to be in perfect balance in order to stand up. And she cannot step on the slack line with the heel. So from the front part of his feet, so she has to step on the slack line in a horizontal position. During the challenge, if she fell from the slack line, meaning that the challenge will be a failure. But she hasn't passed the starting line yet, so meaning that she hasn't officially started the challenge. So each of the contestants, they have their own advantages and weaknesses. And today we do have a very strong wind from Tianmen Mountain. And for Mimi, even though she's very experienced, but relatively speaking, she's the eldest from the 3 contestants. So she's about to stand up again. All right. Now she's stepping across the starting line. It's such a breath-holding moment. Okay, she's crossed the starting line. Now the challenge officially starts. I think she has a very good control with her balance and the slack line. So it is allowed that she can hold for some seconds to readjust her position and the condition. So she has to make herself balanced. She's asking if she failed the challenge, I have to go back to the finishing line. So if she kneel on or sit on the slack line or fall from the slack line, meaning that she failed the challenge and she has to go back to the finishing line. And now it's the turn for the second contestant, Faith from the United States. And it's time for Faith to do her first attempt. Probably we think Mimi will share some of her thoughts with Mia as well as Faith. So she's talking about the wind.
Saying for her, she estimated she just walked around the 7 meters. For the overall length of the challenge is around the 55 meters. She just started. She just passing the starting line. It says because of the wind, so it's really hard. But I believe they had a lot of experience. So during their communication, I think Mimi really bring a lot of information to the next athletes, contestant. Of course, wind's always a big factor. So Mimi, back to the destination. And maybe Harry can help us to get more information. Harry, would you please talk more about the information you know? All right, this is the footage of Mimi, just the falling before she started the journey. And this is, I believe she already passing the starting line. She said that around 7 meters. He traveled only 7 meters because of the wind. Make her lost her balance. But for me, before she falling, her body not really laying to any side. I think it's quite balanced, but just suddenly maybe the wind changed direction. All right. Mimi from France, for her first attempt was failed. And then we will have Faith from United States. As we know, Faith is the first person to create the record of a high heel high line. And let's wait and see she can break the record. Faith from United States is the first female athlete finish the 100-meter slackline walking, and also the first athletes to challenge with high heels. 29 years old Faith is the most influenced person in the slacklining world and finished different competitions. And in Czech Republic, she created her first challenge to create the record of walking 50 meters with high heels. Let's wait and see whether she can create a new record. All right, that's our second female slackliner, Faith. We have high hope on her because she have a lot of experience in this area, and she challenged 50 meters with high heels before. So for Timon Mountain, I believe that they know exactly the beautiful scene of the Timon Mountain as well as the wind directions, because the wind changed too much. So for our first contestants failed because of the wind factor, let's look at our second female athletes. I believe right now she is putting the safety lock. So make sure she's well protected. So for all the athletes in extreme sports, we know it's extreme, but on the other hand, we need to protect them. Everything should be safe. So everything should be safe, and under that big framework, you can enjoy yourself. Very nice dress. And we know for heels, everyone's really dressed up. So that's another beautiful scene and or beautiful highlight. So same rule for her as well. So she needs to move first to the starting line and then raise hands to the judges and start the challenge. So she put the earphones on. That's for not for the walkie-talkie, maybe for the music. So that's maybe her little secret. So let's wipe out the water. I think today is quite good. Maybe for they standing here, so maybe some water or their heels are white. But the good thing is that for our lines are not white. So I believe she lock herself on the line and moving to the starting line. So we can hear the wind. So you can see from her dress, from her hair, we can tell a big wind. So especially when you're approaching to the Timon hole, you will feel the strongest winds because all winds are gathering here. So it's very, very difficult for our athletes, especially when they're performing the slackline walking and suddenly there was a wind blow to them. They need to have the technique to control and find their balance. So it's always hard for them to find the balance with or without wind. And for the yellow ribbon, that's the starting line. So we can see she will be stand up to get everything ready and then start her challenge. For every slackliner, they have their own rhythm. They have their own habit. Like for Faith, she likes to hear in the music. So let's help her to relax. It's like people like jogging. So they really like to listen to the music while running. and run with the rhythm, with the music. So you can see from the top to the bottom, that's with the height of 50 meters or 12 stories of buildings. For me, it's like I cannot reach my eye open if I stand up there. But for those ladies, they are well dressed with high heels, very elegant, and we know these lines only with the width of 2.5 centimeter. So big pressure for them for sure. So Mimi is like had a very big inhale, exhale to help her calm down. And for Mimi, I think for Faith, she will listen to the music to help her concentrate. Think she put the earphone back. And you can tell the big wind. And I also can hear the wind. I think she will wait a little bit. It's always hard to stand up. It's very hard for the beginning. So the wind, unfortunately, is stronger. For Faith, I think she's quite okay, quite relaxed and calm. So we'll need to wait the wind to stop, and think she's asking the judge whether she can start or not. She's approaching to the starting line and get ready to stand up. Faith from United States. As the world record keeper of 50-meter slackline walking. She already stand up and everyone is cheering up. Big wind, so you can see she's really shaking and find her balance. All right. It's not started yet, so it's okay for her. It's good because for athletes, they should get used to it. So they need to get used to the line first. So they talk to the judge. Think she needs something, or she need to change something. So I think someone needs to clean up or tidy up the line because of the wind, maybe make the line twisted. So it's like sometimes the lines are mess up or not really flat, so make their foot even harder to touch or feel the line. So that is why they need someone to really make the line tighten. So they need the tighten to be more tensioned. And also depend on their preference, because some athletes maybe prefer tighten one, some prefer a relaxed one. So for me, I think they quite stretch their muscles. Because wind change all the time. So I think should wait a little bit longer time than our Mimi from France. So from here you can tell how high they are right now standing at. And for today's weather, it's much better, but wind is always there, and always big ones. Very strong wind and change direction all the time. And the shin is ready to start again, maybe. She's really careful. No big wind, no. So for taking the challenge with heels, it's much difficult than taking the challenge with barefoot, because you need to, with your knees on the line and to stand up, because you need to find your body weight or the center of the weight. So it's much difficult than stand up with barefoot. So it looks like she very easily sit on there, but for us, it's not easy. All right, she's standing up again. So need to change the position and find the balance. And let's see if, all right, she started. Faith from United States right now start her challenge. You can see it's really shaking, and you can see she tried really hard to find her balance. And this is the footage from GoPro, and you can tell from her dress. Big wind. And Mimi only walk around 7 meters. And let's look at the face. Still again, wind is the biggest showstopper. Which means Faith also failed for her first attempt. But believe more or less she walked the same distance as Mimi did. So it's around 7 meters. Wind. That's the big enemy. So she got back to the destination. So even doing this is really difficult and also consume a lot of energy. So let's look at what we'll talk about. Let's look at what's the reason behind. For Mimi, it's just in a sudden, she fell off.
And she fell suddenly. But for Faith, we have already noticed that her body is leaning to one side. It is quite shaky. Indeed, for these two contestants, during their first attempt, they're actually fighting against the wind instead of the slackline. So for Tianmen Mountain, there is big changes of the weather condition. And if you are starting from the Tianmen hole, it will be even difficult. And for the lady wearing the hoodie, actually she's the third contestant. She's talking to the other two contestants to get more information. So for Faith, she spent a lot of time in adjusting her position and conditions. And before the official start of the challenge, she fell from the slackline. As you can see from the video, she's already leaning to the right side. So this is another falling from the slackline. So for the first two contestants, Mimi and Faith, they both fell from the challenge during their first attempt. So pretty soon we will have the third contestant, Mia from Canada. So Mia was the strongest for the slacklining, and she's 23 years old. Very few contestants can break the 200-meter record, but Mia has not only surpassed 200 meters, and she raised the new record of 490 meters. By the end of 2017, she also created a record of 420 meters slackline with eyes folded. Let's see if she can break another record. Alright, now let's welcome the third contestant, Mia from Canada. From the stairs, we can see so many audience are gathering here to appreciate this champion. So many people are paying attention to this high line challenge, and they're also cheering up for the three contestants. Now, the three girls are still talking to each other to get more information. So first of all, they have to tie a knot. So Mia is the youngest contestant. And she always stayed positive with a big smile on her face. So they are helping each other to check the security for Mia. So we can see there are only 2 lockers for them to ensure the safety during the slacklining. So Mia is ready. She's wearing a yellow dress. So we can see some of these contestants, they're actually using tapes in order to fix their high heels. So they have to wipe to make sure that the high heel is completely dry. So if we walk on the slackline with the high heels, it's actually very difficult when you compare to a barefoot walking. Because if you walk on the slackline with barefoot, you can feel the lines, so it can help you to adjust your body position. But if you're wearing high heels, it's less sensitive. And also, you have to put your heels on the line. That makes the challenge even difficult. So for the 2 contestants, they're actually fighting against the wind. So wind is the biggest enemy. But now we can see the wind is getting less stronger. So we can tell from her hair and dress, maybe the wind power gets lesser, but we're not sure whether it is the same situation with the starting line. So Faith for United States, it is actually the most experienced one with the high heel slackline. And for Mia, she used to create a record for a slacklining with eyes folded. And especially she's very young. Well, we can see she's adjusting the tape of the high heel. She hasn't arrived at the starting line yet. So let's see where she put the tape. It feels like she's tightening up the slackline. Now we can see the wind get stronger now. So now she's moving to the starting line. Now last minute preparation for her. And yesterday, when we see this live streaming from the same angle. It's actually quite smoggy right now, but today we can see the whole picture very clearly. So it feels like she's talking back to the judges. So, actually, the cover of the shoes is very important for them. They have to stay sensitive to the shoes. And even the toes are very important for them. One final check. So each contestant has to walk for 55 meters as the challenge. During this process, if they kneel on the slackline or sit on the slackline or even fall from the slackline, meaning that the challenge is a failure. So they have to walk all the way to the finishing line. So now we see Mia face the same problem with the first two contestants. The wing gets back. You can still feel a very stronger wing. Let's see if Mia can defeat the wind and finish the challenge. Let's wait and see. I think they have to be very relaxed. Even though they're completely concentrated on the walk. I think she's ready to stand up. Now she's at the left side from the starting line. So before they pass the starting line, it's okay for them to fall from the slack line. But if both of her feet pass the yellow mark, which is the starting line, then if she fell from the slack line, meaning that the challenge is a failure. We can even hear the breath from Mia. I think she's still waiting for the wind. So everyone is waiting. Hopefully the wind will get less stronger. It's a very strong wind. This kind of wind makes her standing up impossible. Seems like she's talking to Mimi from France. Maybe she's asking, how did you make it with such a strong wind? And now she's talking to the judge. So actually it is not only the wind, but also with all of those drums, they're also bringing some wings to the contestant. Now she's standing up, feeling that she's quite steady. Let's see if she can pass the yellow mark. You can see she only has one heel stem on the slack line. She's trying to make the slack line stabilized. She's bending her knees. Can make her body much balanced in this way. She's still adjusting her position. Still, we can feel the wind. So we can feel her breath. Now the wing gets back. You can tell from her dress. And also very shaky on the slackline. So she can feel the wing on one side, but at the same time she has to control the heels. She has to progress step by step while maintaining balance. So wind is the biggest enemy for them for today's challenge. Now she's trying to pass the starting line. So she has to have several considerations before she make a minor step. If she cannot see the heels, meaning that the wing is too strong. Now both of her feet has passed the starting line. The challenge has officially started. It feels like she's cheering up for herself. So even though she's wearing the dress, but sometimes you cannot see the heels because the wing is too strong. And the height of the heel is 5 centimeters, and the width of the slack line is only 2.5 centimeters. And they have to walk for 55 meters. It's not an easy task. You can see, even though it takes almost like 1 minute, but she didn't progress too much. Because of the strong wind, she has to adjust her body position. Sometimes if you want to walk without your eyes open, sometimes it takes very strong physical strength to adjust your personal condition.
She's walking on the hut equal to a 12-story building. She will not look down, she will look far. Because during the journey, the athletes will put their focus quite far so they can know exactly the shake of the line. You can see all the audience here. And they cheer up and give support to Mia. Compared to the previous two athletes, and they fell down from right now this position, but we can tell each of them actually have their own secret or their own trick. They have their different way to make their strut. And you look at when Mia landing on the line is different. So I believe like she put the forefoot very quickly on the line and then put the heel and not really hurry to put another foot forward. She'll wait a little bit and move the other side. So Mia is passing the black mark. That means she traveled around 5 meters. So look at her next step. So she wiggle the forefront and then put her heels down. So you look at. She move actually not that fast. So she move very steadily. Seems like she puts more movement on the right side, on the right feet. Let's see whether it's correct or not. Right now, she traveled around 4 minutes, 15 seconds. She traveled quite far than the previous two athletes. Ali, cheer up herself. So look at the right foot. So wiggled. So it's like just for her habit, or it's more like her habit. So she will, like, for her left foot, it's quite stable. She's okay. But for her right foot, I think she need to, like, find more balance, because each of us have a different center of weight. So, like, for me, I think my center of weight will be more to the left side. So that's also because of these. So it's case by case, person by person. So we all have a different center of weight. And we can tell right now the Wayne is stronger. For slackline walking, for all these three female athletes, they can walk as long as you think, no matter this dress in sports gear or in dresses. But with heels on, it's okay for them. But if with the wind, with the rain, that'll be really, really difficult. And here it's like, be quiet. We don't want to give a lot of negative impact or factors to our athletes, because they have to be 100% concentrate. Right now she travels 6 minutes. She's a really lovely girl. I can tell she has a very, very strong mental spirit. And you cannot really see her heels, which means the wind is stronger. So that'll block the GoPro. So also this is quite a challenge to her limit of physical condition, and you can see she breathes more frequently. And she already traveled around 20 meters. So it means she very successfully challenged herself with halfway. As you saw it for the marathons, this is at the center. So you need to surpass your bottleneck. So wind. I'm saying two things right now. It's annoying. One is wind, another is the limitation of the physical condition. So she has to keep walking on. So it's like you walk slowly, which means you can walk stably, but another thing is like you will consume more energy. So we can tell she have very fast breath. Right now, let's see. So she started from the center of the Tianmen Hall. Right now, she traveled quite far in distance. And on the right-hand side, we'll have another yellow dot. That will be the destination. So their challenge length is around 55 meters. Mia right now already halfway finished. So right now we look at Mia. It's from this angle. So for our viewers, so we show you all different angles of the competition. And the good thing is weight is smaller, or is more favorable for our athletes. So you can see from her hair and the dress is more than half journey. So I think if without wind impact, it will be, look at her physical limitation. Right now she traveled around 9 minutes, almost 30 seconds. What do you think, she can finish it successfully, or? It depends on her physical condition, whether she still have enough energy to support her finish the whole journey. Right now we can tell she's quite good, quite okay. Less difficult when you're approaching to the destination, because for the central part of the line is the most loose part and also the biggest wind. So if you pass the center of the Tianmenhao and without any limitation of your physical condition, and you change and adjust your performance, so that'll be a much easier journey in front of her. She already finished more than half of the journey, and she already spent 10 minutes. Every second is under the high pressure. As always, hold your muscle tight for every second. So that's consume a lot of energies. So here we can see it's a lot of greens. So that's she already passed the letters. Every step she made actually cost quite a long time. I believe she also slowed down a little bit. Maybe give her some time to rest. And also because of this, she also need to adjust herself. It's really tired for her, especially for her arms. Because for her arms, need to keep her to find balance. So it's like everyone can challenge yourself, like to keep this in position for 10 minutes. So make your muscle really sore. And always make your knees bend. So that's really a big requirement to your muscle strength. For your biceps, for your triceps. So sometimes the athletes really like their arms relax just for half a second. Mia right now already spent 12 minutes. You can tell for our destination is quite almost there. She already finished 30 meters. That's around 25 meters left. Let's keep walking. So from this angle, we can tell it's a very beautiful scene. But from this angle, just walk next to a cliff. But all these beautiful things cannot really stop her, and she also have no time to look at all these. So she have to be 100% concentrate. So during her walking, actually it's the journey to reveal the most beautiful thing of Tianmen Mountain and Tianmenhao. Maybe she didn't aware of that. So during the journey, so she's walking and coming to our letters. So let's say she wants to give up, or it's really, really tired, exhausted for her. Or maybe the joints. So need to cheer her up, encourage herself. For her arms, I think maybe she cannot really feel her arms. Yes, her legs, we can tell. I think it's also the same, it's muscle really sore for her legs. So if the legs are really tired, then she cannot really support herself. Let's see, you look at the arms, you look at the biceps, triceps, it's really tired. The legs muscles need to be strong to support her because she always need to put her arms up. So already finished 30 meters, only the last 10 meters. So she has to keep going on. She's always changing, adjusting herself, because she finished 2/3 of the journey. I think right now she reached her limitation of the physical condition. So she look far. I think that maybe help her. So she cannot be really harsh. Don't be too hurry. We all have our physical conditions, limitations. For me, I think she spent too much time at the first part of the journey. So we are very worried. It's almost there. You can reach that. And you will make the new record. We can hear she change and adjust her breath. She change her breath while walking forward. So here we can tell the wind is not the biggest showstopper. Right now it's just herself. 55 meters of lane is like the tactic that used at the very beginning. The wind is the biggest issue, but to the later part of the journey, you need to think more about your physical condition. 60 minutes and 30 seconds pass. I'm very close to the destination. You can hear her breath.
So she has to be patient, even though she's getting closer to the finishing line. At this time, we can see her determination and willingness. Some of the people may give up if they feel really tired and start all over again. And for each one of the contestants, they have 3 attempts. But it is such a pity if she gave up at this point, because she can see the finishing line just ahead of her, around 10 meters. Well, at this point, it's not that difficult to walk on, but the challenge is her physical condition. So she has to rest herself a little bit during the walking. We can see the viewers and all the audience are taking out their mobile phones to take some photos of this breath-holding moment. So Mia is getting close to the destination, but she has to stay cautious. Let's see her next step. So she already lifted the heel and then the firm part of the foot. In general, she has very good command of her body. It's just her arms. But it feels like she didn't step on the slack line. So I'm really worried about it. We don't want her to give up at this point. Let's see if she can stay to the end. So this is the new record challenge, the 55-meter highlight challenge. Now it's 19 minutes past. Seems like she's very determined. We expect her to be successful. We know it is exhausted at this point. We just don't want to see a strong wind and then suddenly she fell from the slackline. That's what we don't want to see. But we can see she kept adjusting her position. Personally, I feel she has a good control of the slackline. As you're approaching to the destination, there will be less shaking of the line. We can see only 7 or 8 steps. So the black mark, it is the 5-meter mark to the destination. Alright, Mia. Last 5 meters. She's cheering up for herself. Last 5 meters. Every step is a challenge for her. So we can see she actually grind on the slack line and then move herself slowly, step by step. So she has already finished 50 meters. So if she can pass the yellow mark, the finishing line, meaning that she successfully completes the challenge for 55 meters of the line. Every step marks a new record for the slackline challenge. Behold, Mia, we have only like 4 steps left. So she has to pass the line with both feet. And we can see the other contestants are cheering up for her. 22 minutes. So actually she already refreshed the record. Last step. Last step for Mia. It is the psychological challenge for her. She's asking her teammate to check her condition. It's just the last step for Mia. All right. Congratulations, Mia. She has successfully beat the challenge. The new record, 55 meters highlight challenge. It's not an easy task for her. So it takes her around 22 minutes. Amazing, incredible. She's really exhausted, we can tell. Let's collect high rate to see what's the latest information from Mia. It's incredible. For the first 2 contestants, they both fell at around 7 or 10 meters, but Mia has successfully completed the challenge. And during the process, she kept cheering herself up, especially for the last step. She has already reached her limit, but she created the new record. So we can feel she has already reached the physical limit. So she said that if you do the challenge with the high heel, it's quite different from barefoot because it requires stronger physical strength for her both legs. So she's exhausted right now. So on the slackline, we can see Mia is cheering herself along the process. So each time we can feel the power of Mia. Especially at the end, we are actually holding the breath. So we want to ask her if she's nervous at that time.
Less mistakes happen, so even if I go slow, I'm pretty confident I can just keep going at a good space.
因为我们的米娅平时在生活当中很少穿高跟鞋，
对，她昨天说了，
对，所以这个训练的次数也比较少。然后她这一次的话，
Actually, Mia was not quite used to the high heels, and she has not trained herself too much. So for this time, each step for her is very cautious in order to avoid any potential mistakes. So her performance is quite stable and she's really confident. And she saw us, all of us, like cheering up for her, so she feels very confident.
恭喜恭喜恭喜米娅！当然了，这不是比赛的最后。因为剩下的2位选手，他们依旧还是有
Congratulations to Mia.
2次挑战机会。
But it is not the end for this challenge, because for the other contestants, they still have the chance. We're looking forward to their performance. Let's see, this new record can be break again. This is the live streaming from Tianmen Mountain. We'll give you the live streaming of the Slackline challenge. And now we're seeing Mia's challenge. So it takes around 22 minutes to complete the first challenge. So it is a 55-meter slackline challenge. So she set the new record. So during the challenge, each of the contestants had 3 attempts. So Mia successfully complete the challenge in her first attempt. And Mimi from France and Faith from the United States, during their first attempt, they fell from the slackline at the distance of 7 meters. But still, they have 2 other attempts to finish the task. So we can see when Mia approaching to the finishing line, she's really exhausted. So if she wants to refresh her new record, she has to stay strong in her energy. And also we have the world's first slackline band. And the band will also bring you the sky performance. Let's take a look.
带高手应该说是我的扁带高手了啊。
Woodcutter.
So actually, all of these are very famous and also very expertise in the
可能
slackline.
陈老师不是特别了解啊。作为湖南人，这个曲子真的是再熟悉不过了啊。
Can you recognize the
传统
music?
音乐，刘海砍桥啊，这是湖南花鼓戏的一个代表曲目。
This is a traditional
其
folk
实在这
music.
个位置啊，可以看到啊，我们两位选手，两位这个扁带，运动员应该是每人走了一条，但实际上空中是有3条，啊。
And also for these 2 athletes, they're actually doing a barefoot
而且中间可以
skydiving.
看到啊，有这样的一个网兜啊，有一个这个手风琴手是坐在里边进行演奏，这个萨克斯手呢，先是吊在这个位置，然后
And in the middle
他
part,
们
we
是
can
演奏，
see
旁边这2位呢
2
就
other
算是进行
musicians.
表演，从这个位置可
One
以
of
看
them
得相当
play
清楚一些
accordion,
啊
the。other one is the
3根扁
saxophone
带中
player.
间结了一个网，结在那个位
So
置，就是刚刚敲锣的那个位置，
they're
敲鼓
playing
的
the
位置。
instruments
然后这边呢，
while the
是
2
3
other
个扁带，
athletes are walking
结了一
on
个
the
小网在这儿。
slackline.
大家可以看得很清楚啊。这个手风琴手，我觉得坐在这个位置来拉手风琴，真的是要点胆量。我们讲这个高度比之前还要高，离地有500多米，
I think it's
500多米。
quite unique for this lady to
所以
sit
说
on such
作为这样的一个
hammock
乐团，真的是让人感
and
觉
play accordion
胆大，真的是胆大，把这个音乐啊
because the height is
玩
around
到了一个新的
500
高度啊，真
meters.
的是500米的高空上啊。
They're very brave.
而且他们带来的第一个曲子就是我们大家非
And
常
bring the
熟悉
music
的
to high
刘海
level.
桥。其实说到这个乐队呢，之前也在像马赛啊、维尔东、君士坦丁、阿比让很
And
多
the
城市都
first
进行过表演。应该说，
song is very
专业的
famous.
这种走扁的技术，
Liuhai cast
同时
firewood,
又拥有
a
这种
traditional
音
folk
乐技巧
music
的人
in
啊
China.
满足很多的这种演出的需求。当然，这次来到中国是他们第一次啊，第一次来到，
So
第一次到咱们湖南。
For these players, they're not only good at slacklining but also good at musical instruments. And actually, this is their first time to come to China, first time to come to Hunan to
这
bring
个位
their
置大家可以
shows
看到了
on.
啊，这是在我们天门洞的上方500米的位置。好的，欣赏完我们空中乐队的高空扁带上的表演呢，我们挑战继续，马上进入到
All right, after
那么也要提醒观众朋友们。
the showtime brought by the High Line Band. We will very soon start our second round of challenge. And all our viewers, if you just tune in, we'll bring you the live stream through CGTN. This is the High Heel High Line Challenge. And we have a special guest. That's also the first Chinese person to challenge the light line. And you can tune in any social media platform to look at our live stream. All right, that's for the first round. We need to give congratulations to Mia from Canada. She spent 22 minutes to finish the 55-meter high line challenge with heels on. So according to the rules and regulations, each athlete has 3 attempts. For Faith and Mimi from the States and France, they failed for their first attempt. They fall off at around 7 meters. So they still have the opportunities. I believe with Mia's accomplish of the challenge, that will be also a big courage to them. And they also get more used to all the environment, for the wind, for how they can find their balance. So it's better for them to know more about the condition. I think Mimi will start her second attempt. Of course, need to wipe up the shoes. So everyone is the same. They need to make sure the outsole of the heel should be dry. For Mimi from France, actually, is a veteran with rich experience. I think after she look at Mia's challenge, she understands just long as you can take the challenge with the wind and also better allocate your energy, she can finish the journey, and wish her good luck. And also not just finish the whole journey, but also with less time. Mia, for the first round, spent 22 minutes. So, okay, she's ready, moving to the starting point. So let's see, for the yellow ribbon, this our destination, and all of them need to move to the starting point, and then they will walk to the destination. The whole length of line is 70 meters, and the available challenge distance is around 55 meters. They are flying to the starting line. This is the starting line. And for the athletes, they need to do their final minute security check, and everything should be get ready, and they will hands up to the judge. For the female athletes today, they wear very pop-up color for their dress. No matter for the viewers on the site or for viewers on our CGTN, it's very easy for you to capture their beautiful scene. Final minute check. So Mia said like her leg was really sore, especially for the later part of the journey. So right now with less strong wind, let's see whether Mimi can finish the whole journey with less time spent. Let's wait and see. And she talked to the judge, means she's ready. I think the wind is favorable. All right. So you need to make a very good start. All right. Very successfully stand up. So after she stands up, you need to really, for the athletes, they need to get used to it. Because still, from the normal land to the surface of the line, you need to really adapt to yourself. According to the rules, for your 2 foot should pass the yellow ribbon. Right now, she just used her arc to support her. All right. Maybe because of the wind. Oh. All right. So big shaking. And you can see the heels are not on the line. So is it possible, like keeping this position to move into the destination? I think right now it's just for her to stop a little bit to adjust herself. But still, she moves with her 4 foot, touch and land on the line first, and then with the heels on. It's like the Mia. From GoPro, you can tell it's quite shaky. Mia is quite firm, but Mia move very slowly, but Mimi moving quite fast. She moved faster than Mia. You can tell her brace is quite frequently, and another shake there. Mia, although she stopped, but the heel's still on the line. But for her, Mimi is like when she stopped, she put her heels off the line. Right now she spent almost 2 minutes. But you can tell Mimi traveled far in that 2 minutes. So this comes to my mind is whether Mimi can create a new record, break the one Mia just created. But you can tell that she landed in a different style. So you can see she stopped and rest a little bit. Right now she finished 10 meters. Then we can tell she moved really fast. So I believe she accumulated the experience and lessons from her first attempt. And maybe she found out that it's better for her to travel and rest a little bit, stop herself a little bit with the heels off. So only with her arcs on the line. But which means she also needs to adjust her body direction from the side to the front. You can see Mimi's muscle lines for the arms are much sharper, so I think she may be much stronger than Mia. So all greens in the middle, we have a pop-up color in red. It's a very beautiful scene. We have a lot of viewers and visitors gathering here. So this time we come to Tianmen Mountain. We show you the cliffs, the beautiful things, and also we bring to you the beautiful things with our beautiful female athletes. I think different athletes have their different tactics. So after they all observed Mia's challenge, I think they also changed their own tactics. She spent 4 minutes and 30 seconds. She already finished around more than 10 minutes and almost to half of the journey. So right now we can tell the weight is not the strongest factor. Right now it's come to her physical condition. And she slowed down a little bit, but she speed up again. Her stride actually is bigger than Mia. Mia is like she tests a lot before landing. It's like for Mimi, it's like she land first and then adjust her body. So the whole challenge distance is around 55 meters. And from the judge, Mimi almost reached the 30-meter. So she put her body at the side or face to the side to stop. So I think use the arc on the line is better for her as her own habit. So her challenge or her strategy is use the heels to move on very fast and then stop a little bit by using the arc on the line. So that's her trick. But that should give the credit to her experience for all the competitions she participated in the previous years. So facing different conditions, she can choose different tactics. So she adjusts herself and walk very decisively in a very fast speed. Within 7 minutes, she finished half of the journey much faster than Mia. So we can tell right now she rests a little bit. So this can be a very great asset after the challenge for her shoes, for her heels. She continued her journey, and we have the visitors here to give them courage to our athletes. We have a lot of people gathering here. I think everyone quite surprised because Mimi moved really fast. As Mia said, people here with all the staffs and visitors, actually they are the good positive support to the athletes. And for the visitors, they're very, very quiet. They don't want to distract our athletes' attention. Right now we can tell she already traveled 40 meters and she moved even faster. Mia moved slower, but we can tell Mimi moved even faster. This is quite different, but should be really, really careful. Don't be hurry. You just spent 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Mia spent 22 minutes.
Okay, she already passed 45 meters, 10 meters to go. So take your time. Well, be careful, it's a big move. So we just worry that in the last few meters there may be some accidents. 9 minutes. Let's see the performance of Mimi. So we're looking forward to a performance. Okay, we can already see the finishing line. Maybe 7 or 8 steps. Slower. So stability is the key. Right, 4 or 5 steps. So she has to pass both of her feet. Alright, next step. She's very excited, you can see. She's actually applause and cheer up for herself. She's very fast, only takes her around 9 minutes to complete the journey. So she's very experienced. Use the correct strategy. And we can also hear the big applause from the audience. 9 minutes 24 seconds, that is the new record. Congratulations to Mimi from France. So now she's ranked as number 1, followed by Mia. Even though she failed her first attempt, but in her second attempt, she finished the journey in just 9 minutes 24 seconds, renew the record just set by Mia, which was 22 minutes.
应该说啊，这个在他之后马上要挑战的这个第3位选手啊，压力会更大一些了。前2位都已经挑战成功了，而且时间越来越短。
So pretty soon we will have the third contestant and more pressure on her, because both the other contestants successfully complete the challenge. So we can see Mimi was very happy. It's a new record.
试走的时候，选手经常发生冲坠，然后也是有一点压力和紧张。今天的话一次就完成了，然后就这一轮一次就完成，没有冲坠，非常开心。
Slackline, but at that time maybe she felt a little bit pressure. But for the second attempt, she felt very happy that she can finish the challenge in one time, and we can feel that she's very fast during the walk. So we want to understand her strategy.
I always walk fast, so for me it's just normal to walk like this. Just for me it's to keep the concentration and not let the emotion on me. I don't know how to say affects me. Yeah.
就是因为选手之前赤脚走扁带也是速度比较快，所以这次的话他就是集中注意力，然后保持。
So when she walk on the slackline in barefoot, she always walk really fast. So for this time, she has to be concentrated and keep her body balanced. So we can tell Mimi is very strong. So we want to know whether she has already reserved some of her energy for the next round.
With the wind and the first run, so a lot of stress and no training before, so I have just to be in the challenge, and for the second round I'm here, so yeah, it's better.
因为咪咪今天是第一个出场的选手，在之前今天也没有试走，而且她走的那个时候风又很大，我们
Mimi was the first to do this challenge, and she never did any attempts before. And during her first attempt, we can see the wind is very strong. That's why she fell from the slackline. So that's why she did much better in the second round, as the wind is getting weakening. So from the climate perspective, we can see the condition gets much better, and it is a good news for the next contestant. So we're looking forward for Faith's performance for the next round. So I have just seen Mia from Canada and Mimi from France have successfully completed the challenge. And Mimi completed the journey in 9 minutes and 24 seconds, which renewed the record just set by Mia, which is 22 minutes. So now we have 2 athletes which has break the record of slackline high length challenge, but Mimi finished the challenge in a shortened time. And next contestant is Faith from the United States, and she used to create the record for a 50-meter slackline challenge. Let's see if she can hold her record or break a new record. Let's wait and see. Today is very exciting and thrilling, especially at the moment when the contestant passed the finishing line. So now the next contestant, Faith from the United States, is ready for her second attempt. So we're not sure whether she wants to make a phone call or set up the playlist. I think she have to change her playlist. So we know each one of the contestants has their own features. So for example, Mia is very cautious, have to make sure that it is stable, and then she will make another step. But Mimi is quite fast. And for this one, we would tell she's in love with music. She wants to do the walking with the music. So still the routines to tie the knot, to make sure that they're safe. Actually, she's under big pressure because the other two contestants have completed the journey, complete the challenge. And for her, first of all, wind is the first element to her, and also the physical strength is very important to her. And for Mimi, even though she completed the journey in 9 minutes, but it requires very high standard of physical strength. And for Faith, she also has to think of the other two contestants. Both of them have successfully completed the challenge. So this is a kind of mental pressure for her. So let's see if she can beat the other two and complete the challenge. So for Mimi and the Faith, actually they only walk for a couple of meters and then they fell from the slackline. So even though they failed the challenge, but they have saved some energy for the other two attempts. Let's look forward to her performance. So we have the main slack line, and the second line is actually the backup slack line. And Faith just said that she just wants to complete the challenge, and she felt very happy about the other two contestants. Let's look forward to her performance. Now we can see all of these visitors, they're staying in the high ladder to watch the game. So here is a crowd of people. She has arrived at the starting line. Now we can also see the Tianmen Hole. During smoky weather, you can see the cloud and the fog from the Tianmen Hole, but that is not a good weather for this slackline challenge. Now Faith is ready. Let's look forward to her performance to see whether she can exceed this challenge. She used to be the record holder, the 50-meter high line challenge record holder. But now she has to consider the wind, and also the other two contestants actually break her record. I think she has enough energy. Now we can see she's sitting on the slack line. For Faith, she's actually resting on the slack line. "55 meters, a long journey." So first of all, she has to adjust mental state as well as adjusting her breath. So for each contestant, they have their own way for relax. Now she's waiting for the perfect moment to start. Maybe she's also waiting for her favorite song. Actually, except for the weather condition, we think the atmosphere is quite good today, because all the audience and visitors, they're very quiet and provide encouragement and support to the three contestants. We have many cameras to record this historic moment for them. We just want them to consider the slackline as the runway. Now she is already waving to the judges to show that she's ready for the challenge.
Think maybe she would like to wait a little bit more. Relaxing her leg muscles. So let's see whether she needs more stretch. Think we should massage a little bit for the leg muscles. Because we need your leg muscle to have a big strength to support yourself to stand up. So let's to see whether she is ready to stand up. All right. It's okay. It's not. She's not start yet. So for her, it's okay. Quite similar to her first attempt. She not start the journey yet, so it's okay. So she not starts the challenge yet. So as long as her 2 foot passing the yellow mark, then she fall off again, then which means she failed her second attempt. So our visitors here waiting for Faith to start the challenge. And for all the visitors, it's real the whole journey. They can tell right now Faith under a huge pressure. Let's also look and see whether she can finish the challenge. Let's see whether she's ready to stand up. She encourage herself by saying, "Come on." think because of the wind, they try several times to stand up. If you spend too much time for you to stand up, that's actually consume more for your right leg muscle strength. So on the ladders, people stop and look at her performance. Surrounded by all these greens. And people here, among all these greens in front of the Tianmen Hall, Faith from United States will start her second attempt with 1, 2 steps and started her journey with 55 meters. The line is quite shaking. Maybe because of the wind, maybe. She just started her journey. You can't really focus the wind, and you cannot really tell the wind will come from which direction. Quite a pity. Which means she failed her second attempt. So ask the judge whether she finished or not. Maybe she would like to continue. So she asked the judge. Seems like she would like to continue. Seems like she will stand up again. So according to the rules, her second attempt finished. So it seems like she stand up. So for the knowledge we got from the judge, they said although she failed for the second attempt at the very beginning, so the judge would like to give her one more opportunity to start again. But just to let her to finish the journey, but the results will not be counted. So we can tell right now it's time for her to challenge herself. It's not challenge the record made by Mia and Mimi. So it's her own challenging time. I think it's quite exhausted. It's just quite too much consumed the right leg muscle. A lot of visitors gathering here. So everyone keep silent. So that our athletes can be focused. As the very experienced athletes, especially the people who love the slacklining walking very much, it's not easy for them to give up. She previously owned the title of the world record. It's not easy to create the record and to keep it for a very long time, although today the record was broken by others. I think it's for her leg, it's like big problem for her. Saying like, come on my leg. I think the muscle quite fatigued. And also all the wind. She spent too much energy for starting up. Think she finished. And she's right now back to the destination. Seems too tired. So I think she right now is prepared to getting back to the destination. Okay, unfortunately for Faith, we got two chances got two chance to take the second attempt, but too much consume on the right leg muscles, so her not having enough energy to support her to finish the whole journey. But it's good things like we see our athletes face a very strong spirit, never give up. So for the people doing extreme sports, it's not challenge the record, it's challenge themselves. She didn't finish the whole journey, but it's okay. It's not really bring any negative impact to their passion to the sport. We can tell she still also feel a little bit pity. But that's maybe also the beauty of the sport. All the athletes, they're on very high technique. But on slackline, anything is possible. The other two athletes also encourage her to also exchange their experience. So with the heels on, it's really challenging. She really enjoyed the whole journey. And she will walk on the line with a barefoot. She didn't finish the journey with heels on, but for the journey, let's say, for the pathway, she'd really love it. And she'd really enjoy walking here. It's a really happy moment for her.
Much harder, actually. So I'm really tired. We need to have a good rest. Yeah. 这个 Face 说他在走到大概有10米的时候
Face just said that. So when she walked to 10 meters, there was a mistake. So for the falling is make the line tighter, so make the lines more tensioned. So it's quite really tired, so it needs time to rest. And at the end, hope the three athletes can stand together. First of all, we should say big thank you to all the slackliners. Thank you very much for your great performance. And the congratulations to two athletes. They finished the whole journey. And we see the record being created. Mia created the first world record, and very soon Mimi break it. I think Mimi is very excited, right?
Really happy, just really happy to do the line. It was really a big challenge for me, so I'm really happy to do it.
我们的咪咪今天非常的开心，因为今天的话是法国的这个母亲节，然后他就把今天这个自己创造的世界纪录作为最好的礼物送给自己的母亲。
And also today is the Mother Day in France, so we'd also like to give this title, the great present to her mothers. Very valuable present. Thank you so much and congratulations, and wish you're happy every day, and good luck to all you.
这样的挑战，这样的运动。
for this kind of sports, full of challenge, full of excitement, and anything is possible. And we are today with all our viewers, with all the visitors here, witness the whole journey, and we enjoy the happiness that sports and our athletes brought to us. Thank you all the supporters, and thank you all our viewers. Okay, just now, it's a little bit pity. Faith, she was the previous title of the world record. He changed the tension of the line, but still it's too much for her leg muscles. She didn't successfully challenge the journey, and she didn't try for her third attempt. So congratulations to the other athletes, Mia and Mimi. They make the new record and another new one again.